347. I can't remember the number now.
349.
347 309
5254.
5254. 347 209 5254. 347 5209. Anyway, so guys, as I said, it's a full moon. Hard to hate me tonight. We are hoping to release some emotions. It is the last show for 2020, and I survived. Lee, how are you doing? First, and then Lisa, of course, how are you doing? That's our signature question as a person, as a human being, as a black man.
All right. Well, I'm going to say I am blessed. I am happy that I am still here. I have survived this year and many more. I am thankful. First of all, Lisa, I have not seen you in I don't know how long.
Oh my God, right?
Sister, you look good.
Thank you.
So God bless you. Cam, you know my heart is always with you. I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yes,
you look
I haven't
amazing.
Thank you.
And the fact that you just told me that when it's going to be on the show,
Right.
I'm feeling this right now.
Connected,
So, you know,
okay?
I feel like I bought when now when she's doing Dollhouse, and she's been a part of the Black Pride Committee and everything. So this is exciting. So thank you for inviting me to come on your show. And this is great. Happy New Year to you, ladies. I'm happy to know that you all are surviving and you all are still making it work for the community. So
Yes,
it's great.
yes, I am definitely surviving, maintaining. Lisa, how are you? Thank you for your time.
Hi, honey. Hi, everybody. I am so well. I mean, you know, the only thing that I can say right now is that the way that this year came about, you know, I have never been more grateful to be alive than I am before this year. You know, I've lost people in the past, but not in the capacity that I have lost people in this year. People that I've known, people that I was just looking in their face and they just died of COVID, like in a 2-week period. I mean, it is, believe me when I tell you, and I believe that because this year has been it's so traumatic for me, like I'm really just like hoping to get to the finish line. And the finish line being January 1st. I just want to get out of this year because the way it's been going, you never know. And Lee, I agree. Seeing like, are you kidding me right now? Like a living legend, you know? And Cams, you are, you know, you my little sister. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really glad to be here. But overall, I've been okay. I did lose my job. I'm one of the millions of Americans that lost their job due to COVID, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. You're here. You're here. I'm
That's
happy
right.
that you're here.
Right.
I'm happy that you're telling that story because we all could have been telling a different story, right?
That's right.
Right? And
right.
I want you to, because this is the GMGT, Good Music, Good Times audience. We really focus on being conscious in the culture, right? Given, of course, COVID in the background. Today is a full moon. We talk about being led, spirit-led life. And Diva Lisa S is really important because we're all spiritually grounded people, right? And when I think about being grateful for my experience and grateful for people that I've learned from through their experience, and how, again, we're talking about releasing, it's the full moon, emotional. I really wanted Lisa to testify today because I know her for being like just that legendary promoter, advocate for Black lesbian women, for
Period. That's right.
Because I know that statement is really important to her. And also someone who was out, proud, lived a life. You did the celebrity thing. You hung out. You did all that stuff. And then you turned to God, and then someone that you loved spiritually manipulated you. So how do you go through that, then come through COVID, then still love people, then still, you know, find time to be grateful?
Well, I will tell you, first of all, you know, I ain't trying to be funny, but it took some of this right here, you know, a little bit of this, right? You know,
Cheers. Yes.
so cheers, everyone. But
I love you
honestly,
already.
that's a joke. But honestly, it's just my faith. It's really just my spirituality and my faith. I just trust that God is going to be God no matter what. And I could be mad and be angry. I mean, listen, I did ski trips. I did, black tie affairs. I have done anything that you could possibly imagine.
Hundreds of thousands of women, okay? Hundreds of thousands of women. Hundreds of thousands of women she have bust.
Right.
Bust.
And then one day I decided, I'm gonna just do a church. And my lover at the time, had also become my, the pastor of the church, my reverend, my pastor, who is somebody that you are supposed to trust and she betrayed in a way that was just not only humiliating, but it was just so bizarre because I just couldn't believe that someone in the clergy was even allowed to do something like that. And that was a lesson for me because prior to that, growing up in Episcopalian church, we were taught that preachers didn't do wrong. They just weren't allowed to. So I didn't learn that until I got older and being with this woman and it was the lesson that needed to be learned. The lesson was that man is not perfect. Only God is. Only God is perfect. Man is not perfect. And God will use man, to send you, to give you a message and to send his gifts and things of that nature. But man is not perfect. Man will fail all the time. Yeah. And you have to, and that was a lesson learned for me and one that, believe me, has saved me a lot of heartache. But that pastor, I really, really was just blown away. And the things that, she would say to me in terms of, how she would, get out of the house and how she told me that God told her that I had a demon and all these things. And I believed her. I believed her when she told me, God told me I had a demon. She would jump up and run out the house at 2:00 in the morning. And I would be like, oh my God.
Listen, we can laugh at it now. Let me give you some context here. And the reason why, let me give some more context. Lisa, at the time, promoting events, New York City Pride, DC Pride, all these prides, popular. I mean, we're talking, how many years have you been in the business pushing the gayness for the black woman? How many years you think, Lisa?
Oh, at that time, it had to be about 20 years at least.
Yeah.
20 years, right? So what this person did, and I'm gonna stab it right now. What this person did was realize that Lisa, was building her faith, and hand in hand, building an intimate relationship. You're also asserting yourself as a spiritual leader, or someone as a religious leader, or someone who could guide her through the passage when you ain't even ready. But you know what? God always meets you where you at, because what did you come out saying? Don't trust man, trust God.
That's right.
But at the time, I don't know how you didn't end up in jail. Okay. I don't know, and I want you to tell everybody, because I'm talking about like it gets crazy, because you imagine, right? And how are you? That was an unbelievable and incredible lesson for me. And actually, I didn't wind up in jail. I'm prayerful. Yeah, I'm happy that I'm grateful. No, believe me though, as crazy as it made me feel, and as much of a lunatic as I actually had become as a result of it, I didn't wind up in jail, and I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm very, very lucky. My jail days were way before that. That was that was 35 years ago, and something completely unrelated. But that's another show. That's another show, right?
That's another show. But honestly, it's so funny because I tell the story, and this is a true story, about when that thing had happened, when I caught her cheating on me, and I went to the church and I punched her in her face. I punched her in her face at the church, in the middle of a meeting, and it was this whole big thing. Yeah, and I could definitely have gone to jail, but and the day after that, I got home, and I put some black makeup face and dressed up in all black, and this is at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
I left my house looking like a ninja, like nobody could see me. This is a true story, y'all. This is a true story.
And the crazy thing, I'm thinking that this is like my mom. I'm looking into like my gay mom, and I am like, I'm with the shit.
Let me tell you something. When I went to go start the car, because I had borrowed a car from my friend, because the car that she had purchased for me and made me sell my car, she purchased a car for me, made me sell my car, then she cheated on me, took the car back or whatever, so now I'm without a car. Wow. So a friend of mine loaned me her car, and the car was a piece of crap, but it got me from point A to point B, so forth and so on. And I had some bats. I had some silver bats, like baseball bats. And I was going to this girl's job to kill her. I swear on everything I love. I had it in my mind. I had some shots of whatever the hell early in the morning now. These are early morning shots. By 9 o'clock in the morning, I am shit-faced, got black paint and shit on my face, and I'm walking through my facility with bats, ready to go and kill this girl. I get in the car, and it doesn't start. The first time that car did not start for me, as raggedy as that was, that car got me everywhere. But the car wouldn't start that day. And I sat there and fell asleep in the car. I slept in that car from that morning to that evening. And when I woke up, I was sober. And I just looked up in the sky. I said, God, you got jokes. But I thanked him, because honestly, I know that if he had let me start that car, I would have either, if I made it to where the girl lived or worked, if I made it there, I would have killed her or killed somebody on the way. I was that just emotionally done. But when I look back on it, like, I laugh all the time about it. It is one of the funniest stories I tell, because it is true.
It is true.
But it is one of those things that I am so grateful for, because had it not been for the car not starting, I would be sitting here telling this story from Rikers Island right now.
That is not a coincidence.
Lisa, I am so happy that the car did not start.
Me too.
And I want to take this time I hope that you're still working on your book.
I am.
Okay.
I am working. I mean, not for nothing, through the pandemic, you would think that, you didn't have anything to do, but I have elderly parents, and I was just kind of, I mean, I guess I could have written my book. I really could have.
Oh, no guilt.
Guilt.
I'm just saying, for the stories.
Oh, I got plenty, honey. I could keep y'all on here all night with my stories, but that one in particular was one that just spoke to my relationship with God, and how, I can look back now and just see the things that he's actually kept me from. He saved me from myself. That song that Leandria Johnson has. It says something about, just keep me from myself. Save me from myself, basically, because I get it wrong. And that is so everything that I do it has to be faith-based, because if it's about me, It ain't gonna work.
Yes, yes. Let me tell you something. I will take the time out to say that is key information. Just drop some gems right there. I wish I had a bomb. I'm gonna get my bomb things. Because that's wisdom. When you can look at your experience, and you can learn from it. You know that one wrong move, you know where you were vulnerable, as in like, I know I told God to step out the room for a minute. And I was in there by myself, and you knew that it's like you were redeemed.
Amen. Amen.
And I'm
Amen.
So
and I'm
happy.
Grateful for it every day. Amen.
Yes. So I want to, because that year or maybe years that trickled after, given that type of shift, major shift in your life, given COVID, 10 months of intensified 2020 water bearing, weight bearing, just hem you up, foot at your neck type situation. What are you? I hate to compare the years, but how are you then? How are you now?
Well, honestly, now, I mean, I'm 10 years older, right? And in 10 years, people say age ain't nothing but a number, but there is no substitute for experience. So in that 10 years, I did learn more than I learned 10 years before that. So I'm a little bit more ahead of the curve. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling a little bit, even with me with losing my job or whatever, I'm still in a good place. You know what I mean? I'm still in a good place. Yes, this year has been just so terrible for everyone, but I just have this sense of peace that things will turn around. It has been major. When I tell you loss, but I have really I don't know, I've just come to a point of peace where I've been able to deal with it more than I ever have, right? And I just think probably because it was just so many, and just so that I have just become like I'm in my Zen place, to be very honest.
Yeah.
And you have to go to that place so that you stay sane. You have to go to that place. You have to find that place. I haven't, not that I think anything is wrong with it, but I haven't sought professional help, yet. But I definitely, I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. I think everyone should. I think it's completely necessary.
I know a few therapists, so I will, I'm be happy to connect you.
Yes.
People.
Yes.
Especially
I'd love that. I would love that.
Actually, your friend Janae.
Oh yes, I
Janae, and she's been on the show. She's based in Kansas, but she does remote stuff, and even if you want to warm up to, just therapy, because I believe in kind of feeling people out. You never know, but of course she's a Black woman, and she's on Instagram, and she definitely puts out her knowledge there, and definitely lets you get to know her as a therapist.
Yeah, I would love that. I always said, I've never done it. I've never had therapy before, but I think after this year, because I've always wanted to, I just haven't, and I just feel like after this year, I feel like, you know what, it probably wouldn't hurt. And this doesn't have anything to do with relationship or anything like that. Family, my family's in check. The people that I know are in check. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people. But in general, the people that are closest to me are still in check and whatever. But I just feel like there's just been so much death. So much death, something like we've never seen before. I mean, honestly, I really feel like I should have gotten therapy after 9/11 because that affected me like I didn't think anything would in my whole entire life. I was done for.
Points, right? Look at all
I
these
was
points.
done.
Look at all these points that collectively we share.
Right.
9/11, right? Since 9/11, what else have we shared, like as a country, besides COVID?
A lot.
Lee, let's get you in on the conversation.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Lee. Go ahead.
No, actually, Lisa, you're giving me so many moments here. First of all, I want to say that you touched on quite a few things that I wanted to add to that. I think that mental health is something within the Black community that it's like a taboo conversation. We never really want to address mental health. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Therapy is a good thing. We all have issues. We all have stress. We all have points of depression and stuff like that. And then it's good sometimes to address our mental health because our mental health impacts us physically as well as other things and parts of our lives. But some of the things that you said actually brought back some pleasant memories for me. And I'm going to go there and say that for me, you know, I started out in nightlife and, you know, club kid and dancer and stuff. And then when I started to do my own thing and my own parties and events in the 90s, is when I just started to expand my thought about what else was happening in the community. And I became more aware about the women's and the women parties and stuff. And that only happened because of me trying to explore other venues as possible places to rent. And I never forget, because I know that Kate was one of the people, she used to do security, a lot of security at that time. And Kate had kind of came to me and was like saying, you know, I might could get you a better deal here or there if you know, if we talk and we go through this together and this and that. And James Saunders,
always trying to negotiate. Kate is always trying to get on the backs of Black people. I'm going to say this
because the interesting thing about that is that I can't believe how fast time is flying, and the fact that we're 2020, and the fact that is, Lisa, this is a tribute to you. That Lisa, you've been doing your thing for quite a long time, and I have to think about all the women promoters. And by the way, for the people that's listening, there's a lot more dynamics in the women lesbian community than it is for the guys. We've always had maybe 4 or 5 main promoters, and it is what it is. The girls have always had a bigger and larger dynamic when it comes to the promoters. And so, you know, there was I remember people specifically about, oh, you got to meet Lisa S. You got to know Lisa's event, you know. There was also Madison. I was always have to say I had a good rapport with Madison. I know Madison used to do like boat rides and stuff like that.
That was my partner. That was my partner for years.
Exactly. And there was also, some of the names, forgive me, but I know her name. I called her B. And it was Bahama Mama. She didn't last too long. I know she used to have a venue and stuff that she used to do a lot of stuff at. Do you remember Pandora's Box?
Of course.
Down by Christopher Street.
Of course.
And then the girls tried to set it on fire.
Yes, I was there that night.
Listen,
when they fired the gun up into the ceiling, I was there.
So here's why I said you just gave me memories, because one of the things that my good girlfriend used to tell me, who used to take me to meet all the women promoters and stuff, she used to always say, let me tell you something right now. She said, the girls are passionate. The boys are shady, but the girls are passionate. She said, don't let the girls get upset because the girls will take you down. And I was like, she was crazy. And so my good friend, my uncle actually used to do security at the Octagon. And,
wow.
And so there used to be a very, very hot women's party at the Octagon.
That's right.
Lisa, I think it was you that used to do that party, right? Was that with you? Was that you?
No, I just used to be there. I was a patron at that one. I didn't do that party. I was just there.
Okay, so
I was there
one night, I haven't talked to her in many years, but the lady who used to own the Octagon. So I remember the girls tried to burn that place down, right? The girl had gotten mad. It was a big fight. And she asked the security guard, which was my uncle, could she go to the car and get something? And when she came back, she had a can, and he was looking at her like, what is she up to? And she was shaking the can at the building. She was shooting gasoline at the building. She was going to let the place on fire.
Didn't play.
And
why?
so
Listen,
my uncle was telling me this story.
Hold on.
I'm enjoying this story.
We're not going to put out news and not give the context to why there were apparently a bunch of black lesbians outside the building shaking a blowtorch.
But here's the thing about that makes it very, very weird about that is because yes, my friend telling me that the women react to things very different and they're much more passionate about stuff. The fact that Lisa just told the story about she put the bats under her eyes, honey, she was rolling, honey. She got her bats, she was ready to go. And I feel you, but I have to say it's funny because sometimes you just sit back and
it's true.
No, listen. I tell it because I want people. I tell it because I want people to laugh about it now. Because I too can laugh about it now. But on that day, I wasn't laughing worth a damn, and I swear, there's only God. Only God is because I'm here.
It's called divine intervention.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Would not start.
And scream
So
when y'all
thank God the car would not start.
No,
so you did not go over there to do what you was planning to do. But it's also that
She was gonna get it.
right.
I hope she thank her lucky Jesus on that
today
one.
than those days of the late 90s and stuff when I first was meeting all of the females doing parties and stuff. So the reason why I always smile at the ladies that I first met from the 90s to the girls that came into the new millennium is because you ladies went through a lot. Honey, how you throwing a party and somebody trying to burn you in the building?
They thought that the Lemonade album was inspired by the Lemonade album. They have no idea that probably those stories
No.
outside of Lisa S. Buddha Bar, outside of my parties. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of passion.
Yes. I'm going to tell you, if I was throwing a party and my patrons tried to burn my building down, that's telling me stop. Stop. But
Any
you
comments
girls
on the big
survived.
Yes.
Y'all done a
So,
lot. You understand each other in a whole different dynamics. And it was one of the reasons why when I started to take over Black Pride, I was really saying, I'm not going to try to learn or be a part of a dynamic that I'm not part of. So, you know, it's important to have women at the table who understand. It's not going to be a gay male trying to tell what a women's event should be. And all of those dynamics and things was very important. But there were women that I know who have been doing it for a very long time. And I don't think that you have been uplifted and recognized in the way that you should have.
Women were the organizers, right? Women were the organizers at the time. You had a lot of black women down there in Stonewall, black lesbians, or whether they identified or not. There were a lot of cisgendered, straight,
absolutely,
lesbian, bi, transgender women, black women. Down there, there was I believe that there was a holding facility, like a prison or something in that area. And they would protest out there to free people who were arrested at Stonewall, who were being harassed, who were being held over time. So, black women were there,
absolutely.
Regardless. So thank you for bringing that up.
I always tell the story of Stormy. And because
Stormy
was the catalyst.
Okay.
And yes.
So let's set that story up. So again, Lee, legendary. I don't know if you guys have seen him on Pose. Okay, wearing your own fashions. Okay, who goes to somebody else's set and say, I'm bringing my own wardrobe? Lee, who does that?
He does. That's who. Lee does.
It actually didn't happen that way, but that's okay. That sounds good. No.
So wait, Lee, I didn't even know you were on there. Which show? Which episode?
I was from season 1 and season 2. I played a judge mostly in season 1. In season 2, I was more like a house father, and you see me in different scenes and
that
stuff.
That show was amazing.
Okay. Okay. So now I know to look for you. Okay, because I wasn't,
When you told me that, Lee, I was like, okay, but that's the people themselves.
Well, the interesting thing is this. So there was a movie first called Saturday Church. And when Saturday Church, all of the girls that are the lead characters from Pose, we were all together in a movie called Saturday Church first. So I think she liked how I represented myself in that. Right. And being part of Ballroom as well. So she was like, you come here and be authentic. Yes. I'm already part of Ballroom, so you be authentic to who you are on set. So yes, I came with my costumes and myself. I was being able to be the authentic person that I am on set, and I love that. But yeah, so that's a whole other interesting story within itself. But I'm
so glad to be in your presence, sir. I'm so glad to be in your presence. So glad to be in your presence.
I'm so happy to have you on speed dial.
The whole experience of it's just life experience of all of the people I've crossed, and I'm looking at Wen sitting over here in front
and yes,
of me.
I want to say yes. I want to introduce Wen is here. Wen is here. Wen is here.
Love Wen.
Listen, I want to introduce Wen. Now the director of Dollhouse. Is it Dollhouse Inc., right? Dollhouse Inc., which is started as a meetup group for professional Black, lesbian, bisexual, queer, transgender women. And you and I met in that group. And, well, I don't know. I think you came to my party. But anyway, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I told them that you came out on my show, and that's really what sparked my whole life coach and wanting to support people through a lot, and really seeing what you needed, seeing the response, and just comparing it, just using it as a like fuel. So thank you so much. 10 years later, how are you? And what are you doing?
I am well. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome
Good
to
evening.
GMGT.
Thank you for
Welcome
the
to Hard
invite.
to Hate Me.
Yes.
Hi, Lee. I miss you. Hey, Lisa.
How are you, Win?
I am great. I'm great. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful, Cams, that you are continuing to carry the torch with networking, now online, but just keeping that spirit of community, especially during Kwanzaa. It's awesome. Thank you so
Yes,
much
thank you.
for
Right.
always providing a platform and a safe space and an open space for conversation.
Thank you.
So important.
Yes.
Thank you. It is very important. And it's, and I love the fact that I can welcome you guys on this platform, because this is my home base as far as the Caribbean community, the Caribbean diaspora, and being able to bridge that gap, because we are so similar. We
Yes.
spoke about episodes of Small Acts, and looking at that series on Prime, and understanding that everyone had a mission in the movement, everyone was there in the struggle, and through having conversations with you, Lisa and Lee, and other people, I learned so much. Okay, somebody's slurping a cocktail.
That's not me.
That was me. Sorry.
It wasn't me.
That was me. Sorry.
I'm going to sip on that one because that was great.
So sorry.
You know what? That means, so you know what? I think we had some comments on the Mixcloud. I think for Lee or Lisa, just for that. That's probably was the thing. And then we're gonna. And before we, Lord.
Well, we
Lisa.
have a couple comments. No one's commented yet on the
Okay,
topics, but
what's the comments?
Scott Kerrigan says, "Hey, ladies, how are you tonight? You guys look pretty today."
Hi.
Hey.
thank you.
Scott.
Can I say one thing really
Yes,
quick?
of
Yes.
course.
Because, okay, so when we were starting, right? If you don't know, I am not Caribbean. I don't know why she let me on the show. Thank you so much for my card.
For this very reason, he's not even Caribbean. Right now,
No.
I'm like the only coconut right now.
Not
Listen.
coconut.
Well, Lisa's Jamaican.
Wait.
Right? Lisa's Jamaican, but she ain't really Jamaican though. She only Jamaican in the back pocket. She only pull that out on certain blocks.
Well, she needs to.
In certain situations. She be like, girl, I'm Jamaican. You don't know about that.
Okay.
So I was told that Caribbeans say Happy
Sip,
New
sip.
Year's with an S.
No,
Well, that's what he said.
it's Happy New Year. Who says New Year's?
My hat says year.
Who said Happy New Year's?
The dude that was coming out, he was like, oh, Happy New Year's. You know, it's Caribbean say that. And I'm like, oh, so am I showing how American I am?
baby.
Happy New Year.
Okay, I need to say this, okay? And I don't care if y'all Caribbean people get mad at me. When y'all talk about Caribbean people stuff, say which island you from. Okay? Because right now, we need to know who's doing what.
Okay.
Unless you have I need to know, because
But about the Happy New
we
Year,
still
though?
don't know what country Major Hype is from, okay?
Ma'am,
So we
go
need to figure that out, and we need to put him in a box somewhere, and all the shenanigans, all of that stuff. Start claiming your country. Stop talking about one Caribbean and stuff, because when y'all do shenanigans,
Ooh, that eye started to twitch.
oh yeah, y'all can be mad at me. Call out your country. Not everybody's Jamaican. Just because I have an accent don't mean I'm Jamaican.
Well, we have Guyana in the house on
Big
Mixcloud.
up,
hi,
Okay,
Guyana.
Big
Inez.
up Guyana, because we be forgetting about you. You know what I'm saying? Big Guyana is involved.
Hey, Happy
what
New
I'm
Year.
saying?
Scott says Happy New Year. Happy New
So
Year.
what is the vote? Is it Happy New Year or Happy New Year's?
It is year.
It's
with
Happy
R.
New Year.
Yes,
It's
with a
Happy
R.
New Year.
It's
only
Happy
one.
New
It's not me and
Year.
you,
It's
too.
one
And
year.
in some people's defense, I think they're saying Happy New Year's Day, which it would be New
Okay,
Year's
well, complete the
Day.
sentence and stop being crazy.
I tried.
No, it's have a happy. It's
Jump in,
you know, you
Camille,
wishing
jump in,
someone
jump
to
in.
have a Happy New Year,
It is a Caribbean thing to say.
right? Have a Happy New
I've
Year.
never heard
Right.
any. Listen,
I mean, black folks here say New Year's too. We
They
say
do.
New Year's.
no, it's just.
When now when we're
I'm
correct.
sorry. It
Now
annoys me.
when
It's
we're
almost like
correct.
saying sorry for your lost. What are you talking about?
Goodbye.
Oh my God! Sorry for your
It's still,
LOST.
it's in the
Makes
same
me want to
category
jump
for
out the
me.
window. I
I'm
want to
saying
jump out the
it's
window. I
the same
can't.
airsoft for me. It's not
Lord
an
have
airsoft.
mercy.
If someone says Happy New Year's, I'm gonna be like, which one are you talking? Which one? Because I'm in one.
I have a new respect for Lisa, Lee, and Win. How
We
you
time
deal with
traveling.
her?
Come on now.
Oh, we got Panama. Okay.
Panama, big up your country. I'm just saying, when
Wait.
you talk about Caribbean,
Is the red?
Stay
Oh,
at your
Trinity.
country.
Oh, we got Trinidad. That's
Big
the
up-
red and black flag,
I'm
right?
Trinidad.
Trinidad.
Hey.
How about my baby is 1 year
There's
old?
a lot of Grenadian people. Okay. And listen, big up to the soca family. Once you love soca, okay, you love Caribbean music, you love people from the sun, I'm down for you. Certain small islands, I don't know. Y'all be questionable.
Oh my goodness. You're starting a whole riot right before the new year.
Y'all be doing some questionable stuff. And then we'll talk about, oh yeah, we open the Caribbean. No, state your block.
Are you calling them out?
I don't have specifics.
Okay.
But I would like the people from Major High
That was
to celebrate it.
Oh my
She said
goodness.
I don't have
I don't
specifics.
know if I have enough chocolate wine in here.
I need people country to step up and claim.
I thought the shenanigans weren't starting
Listen,
until later.
If one, no.
Oh, they're starting
Caribbean people
now.
love to do the nationalism thing. So claim your country.
nationalize.
Okay?
Okay.
It's not a matter of, I'm not being divisive. I am saying, y'all be with the shits.
Wrap your flag.
And I am not down with it.
My flag is a candy cane.
Okay.
But when we on the road, it's all love. Right?
You know what? We got on here and Wen didn't even get a chance to talk.
Yes, thank you, Wen. Wen, getting back to Wen. Wen is from, where are you from? Are you from Panama or Puerto Rico? Where are you?
No. Dominican Republic.
I know it's
Amongst
something
other
I know
things,
was
but
something.
Dominican Republic means.
Because
Huh?
Do you speak Spanish, Wen?
Absolutely, yes, I do.
Okay.
would you be ashamed to say if you didn't speak Spanish? Like, is that like a?
That is the
I know
shit.
Dominicans who don't speak.
A lot, but they be
You know,
shamed
that's a
in their
good question.
families.
I have taken part in language shaming in my own family. You're gonna call it that.
Yes.
I thought you said
For
it was a
financial
safe
purposes,
space.
only because I keep telling my nieces and nephews, you know, I got all this degrees and bullshit, but at the end of the day, every single job I've been hired for has been because this is bilingual on the resume, and only one of those jobs ever required me to speak Spanish. So there's
Really?
that. So,
Wow. See, no, I
but
did not know that.
in the wake of all this, like you said, nationalism and pride, and all of a sudden, all these Latinos that all of a sudden realized that they were black,
Right.
you know,
I know Wendy was gonna go
Right.
there.
Right.
I know Wendy was
When
gonna
for-
go there.
For
This gonna be a
decades,
show.
When was gonna
For
go there? Sorry.
decades, honey, they ain't been black.
yeah, absolutely. You know, in the wake of all of that, just like you, I learned from everybody, and I learned from the younger folks, and so I've stopped the language shaming, and I realized that, you know, language is part of the culture, but it's not all of it.
I
So
am gonna shame
it
New
doesn't-
Year's.
Goodbye.
I am gonna shame New Year's.
What do you say, Wen? Do you say New Year
So
or New Year's?
just keep on it. Just say New Year's Day. I'm not gonna be like, hey mom, happy New Year's.
I'm just trying to keep your friendship together.
Well,
like,
see-
no, I don't know. Camille trying to lose friends
I'm from the
tonight.
Bronx and all that, so I'm gonna say ignorant shit. So I've always said New Year's. I know damn well it's not New Year's, but everybody else said it, so fuck it. I'm gonna jump on the parade too. You know, the only parade I can't jump on is calling it salmon. I just can't do it. No, it's not salmon. It's salmon. God damn it! Like
It's salmon. It's salmon.
It's
It's
salmon.
salmon.
Yeah.
In their defense, I'm helping people.
Salmon. When
absolutely
people
right.
say
It is
salmon, I want to jump out the window too.
Right.
Can
right.
I give people credit for trying to be phonetic?
And I'm not saying Pacific either. I'm
But
never
come on
gonna
now.
be
You
Pacific.
have to
I'm
have
not
a limit.
specific
Okay,
about
Okay,
shit.
you see, that's
It's,
the
I-
thing.
it's never
We
Pacific unless you're
normalize
talking about the ocean. It's
No,
Pacific. It's the
exactly,
Pacic
exactly.
Ocean.
We doing this tonight.
It's
I
like,
love
what is
it.
happening? Listen, it's like people say
I
Pacific.
literally tried to
That's
keep
what they
it
just
light.
said.
Pacific?
That's what they just said.
Pacific.
All I was trying to say was a lighthearted joke about my New Year hat.
Yeah.
Somehow it went left.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's.
Okay, so
Maybe
so we're
it's Happy
saying
New
that
Year's
in
Eve.
some professional environments, Happy New Year's is acceptable. Is that what we're saying?
I think in
Because
cultural
you know what,
environment,
in the full moon, you have to be able to
I can't.
expand.
Be flexible.
I'm so serious, y'all. I have my notes.
Okay. She's ready.
Listen, this is.
Right. Thank you. Right.
I'm trying to bring the show back. It is now 9:01. You have to be able to look beyond your everyday routine, right? That's all I'm saying, right? And if
Right.
you guys are saying that it is now in a commercial, okay, it's not in a commercial space. It don't got the S, so I don't know.
Well, this is from the dollar store.
But
so I
we've
mean-
normalized certain things, right? So you're saying that I
Yes,
should
yes,
normalize
yes.
Happy New Year's.
No.
Because now Kamala is
Yeah.
in the White House. So if she says Happy New Year's, because
I don't think she will. I don't think she will.
She might.
I ain't got no
think she'll
problems
put
with
apostrophe
it. I ain't got no
after it.
problems with it.
Y'all gonna put it on Kamala now? That's Kamala.
listen,
All
if
I'm
she was in
saying,
the White
how
House
did
doing
this
the
get to the White House
listen,
now?
she
What
was in the
happened?
White House doing the whoa, wasn't she doing
Right,
the
she
whoa?
was.
Listen,
Yeah, but that don't mean she have to say Happy New Year's because that is not grammatically correct.
I'm
It's
saying
not.
that. I'm saying that. You know, in our culture, we love to follow fashion and we look for leadership, right? And we want people to make sure it's okay. It's almost like Cardi B being herself, and now all of a sudden to be that self is normal.
Yeah.
Right? And you can make money being as ratchet as hell.
Right.
Right? And just being yourself.
Right.
You can be her type of
Right.
blackness, right? And you could be twerking on Liberace's piano at the Grammys. Okay? So
Right.
what are you telling me?
Not
Okay?
the kitchen place in Texas.
Do
What
I
was that
really need to
reference
keep
for?
Okay,
spelling?
right.
Do I really need to do Okay, no, I'm not gonna say
I
that.
know what.
Well,
I will be pouring wine in my cup soon. I just want
I'm just saying when
so if you hear it on my microphone,
when started it, because you said
I think
about
I started it.
people recognizing
Who
that
else
they're
is
all of a
pouring
sudden
wine?
black. No, when was like, oh, because all of a sudden now, people know they black now and all this other stuff. So I'm like, oh, we gotta go there and call people out for
It's
not
your
knowing that they black.
It's your fault. Sorry, girl.
Right.
Well, let me tell you something. When just a real quick story to
Yes,
speak
it's
to
a
that.
little bit.
The job I lost during COVID, I was a sales executive for a food company. You know, food distribution in Hunts Point in the Bronx. So you already know that everybody there was Dominican.
Right.
Everybody there was Dominican. A handful of Puerto Ricans and very, very fewer than that of blacks. And I was one of them. And honestly, when COVID came down, it's like they got rid of the people that didn't speak Spanish first. The people that are still working there are all Dominicans. But the funniest thing is that they are all like, you know, wearing the shirts, the BLM shirts, Black Lives Matter shirts. They are all, you know, I watch their Facebook pages. Everybody's putting up, and everybody's really, really black now, which I love. I love it. They call me all the time, like, what's up, sister? I'll be like, listen,
Welcome.
we are here in the fight. I'm glad you're still working. But they are all recognizing, like, they are really like, yo, we are black too. They really are.
Yeah, you know.
If you ain't know it before.
Right, but they
Some
get
of
to,
them,
they
some
get
of
to ride on a certain privilege,
Right.
right? That they're not recognized as black because you, as the black person, ain't working and they are. Right?
Right.
So,
Exactly.
we talk about
Exactly.
colorism a lot here, right? I want to get it when, since, we wanted to give you an opportunity since you kind of opened the colorism door.
Come on, Win.
We're not going to go too heavy tonight because it's 9:01. It's the final thing. But listen, let's release it. Let's let it all hang out.
Let's let it out.
Tell us how you
Hey,
really
why
feel.
not? This is the most sober I've been in like a week, so you know.
sober.
Change it right now. What's happening? I'm
Listen, get
confused.
your mind.
Is that intentional? Is that intentional, Win?
Scott is pouring him some Chardonnay.
I'm on
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes,
yes. So
yes.
shout out to everybody. Listen, shout out to everybody on the Mixcloud. Cheers if you're even drinking water.
Yes.
Cheers to like. Listen,
Non-alcoholic beverages.
Libation.
Okay.
I wanna, while we're cheersing, and since we started on a spiritual tip, we want to cheers this to the guides that's in our lives. We want to cheers this to the energy that is present, the energy that's taking us through, right? The energy that's allowing us to tell our stories, that's governing our throat chakra, that's governing our crown chakra, our sacral chakra, that is allowing us to be aware in this full moon, right? Let me tell you something. Tomorrow, write down your old intentions. Your intentions, the way you felt this year, the way you probably still feel, whatever feelings are still lingering. You write it down on a piece of paper, you put it in some water, and you burn that MF up.
I can do that.
And then you get a new piece of paper, and then you write some new intentions. Intentions are about how you feel. How do you want to feel in 2020? Because 2020 was the pressure, right? It's all the lessons. 2021, it is time for you to apply what the hell you learned. Do not forget what you learned. Write it down. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to stress this. When you write stuff down, it gets blessed by the presence that's in the room.
And it was funny, I had a reading last year, and I was on the phone with a friend, and I pulled it out, and I was going through it, and I'm like, whoa. Like, when you go back and you read what you wrote down,
Yes.
it's amazing that you don't even
It
realize.
syncs up. The things that I wrote in 2016, it's syncing up that I wrote in 2018. The things that I wrote in that I'm writing now, I found stuff in like 2020, I would say early 2019, and some things in 2017. I'm like, it's almost like the paragraph. The page is complete, and I was blown away. But I know that was the energy that's available for everyone if you connect. It's not like I'm not the only person that's psychically, that's awakened. You know what I mean? It is available for you just by settling in that space where you at. Internal, getting into your interior space. So that ritual, that's a ritual where you write your old intentions down when there's a full moon, as far as how you want it to feel. I want to feel positive. I want to feel liberated. I want to feel like I matter. I want my life to feel like it has meaning. I want my own black life to matter. Right? What is your particular blackness? Who's accommodating your intersectionality? Who's only keeping you in the binary? Who's watching out, knowing that you're the type of person, like, I'm a black woman, I'm a lesbian, I'm a mother, I have a daughter who's a millennial, I'm a voter, right? I'm a worker, and there's a lot of, I live in the gray areas, we all do. So
Absolutely.
people who come in to forward you or help you in your life, if they're still speaking in binaries, they're not conscious of who you are. They're not, right? Because it's just, there's no passes, as you said today. What did you say? Give graces as?
Give grace to receive grace, basically.
Because people are aware of what they're doing. We saw that women drag that little boy.
Wait, today? Oh,
No, remember you said give great people. You said, Camille, people know exactly what they're doing.
yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. Your actions are first a thought. You think about it before you act, so you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
So when knowing that, so going back to how we, you came out on my show. Tell everyone what you're doing now, and what that did for you. Tell everyone, and now we're trying to get back on track because it's 9:10 and it's hard to hit
but I am
me.
interested to
But
hear
Lisa,
that.
but before you start, Lisa, I also know that you didn't have a lot of time, so I know that you have to go. Thank you so
I
much.
do.
absolutely love
Good
you.
night,
So let me
everyone.
go.
Thank you so much for having me,
Great.
Camille. And
She gotta come back.
it's such a pleasure, my absolute pleasure to see all of you. Have a happy new year, everybody. Camille, call me tomorrow. All right, everyone, be safe. Likewise, and y'all be safe, okay? Please keep your mask on and be safe. I love you.
Can you give us a sip on
All right, bye-bye.
He's like, bye. Lee, Lee, what about you? Do you have to? I know you have to go. I know you was at a friend's house. I know you were kind of like you were entertaining or something. So
I'm actually at my son's house, but
hi, son.
so many things that you kind of brought up that maybe before I want to roll. Maybe I want to share this, and I say
please.
that I try to look at my own self and my own life and my own journey. Maybe every 5 to 10 years, I take stock of myself and say, what have I learned? Where have I improved? Where do I still have work to do on myself? It has taken me a journey and a lifetime to learn and love myself. Can't expect other people to love or appreciate you if you don't do that for yourself. I think that one of the things that's been dynamic for me with running Black Pride for like the last 11 years was understanding or decoding for myself things that have naturally been instilled with us. And reason why I'm bringing that up is because we were talking about grammar and things like that. So one of my sons is actually dating someone that self-identifies as being non-binary. And he actually changed his name from one thing to the name that everybody associates themselves. So I'm going to be respectful and not say that since I didn't want to put him on Front Street that way. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because even as myself as being open-minded and champion, and I sit on every committee you can think of and voice it, and I will fight for our rights on any table that you give me the opportunity to, I still have to learn. And so when I'm addressing them, to use they and them, not always grammatically correct based on how I was taught to use those in a sentence.
It's a complete unlearning.
I'm learning that too.
It's a complete unlearning and a willingness to...
So I say that to say because sometimes we're sensitive and someone to get the impression that it's not intentional. I'm 55 years old. I've learned this from a kid, and it is instinctual for me to say him and her, he and she, not to look at you and go they. But I'm looking at an individual and not a group of people. So I have to be conscious sometimes once somebody alerts me that is their pronouns. So again, I have to always sometimes say to people, in my generation, we didn't ask anybody, what is your preferred pronoun? We called it as we seen it. If you looked male, we gave you he. If you looked female, we called it she. And actually, we didn't even go that deep because, the guys called everybody. In my generation, everybody was Miss Thing and her and she. And it is what it was. And if you didn't like it, you'll get over it. And we wasn't so sensitive about it. But I understand that it's a whole new generation and we're learning. And so the reason why I'm saying that is because it is still a learning process. And part of all these things that what you said, Cams, is 2020 should have been a true eye-opener for us of so many things have opened up. I think one of the things that should have been an eye-opener for younger generation people who normally did not participate in voting, who did not understand the electoral process, they didn't understand elections and didn't understand why they should do this and why they should do that. Now all of a sudden they've become aware that it's important for you to vote in those small primaries for that local councilman and this person and who's a senator and all those things that you ignored and you only voted for the president and you didn't vote for those other things. Now you got to see how so many things. It's like a game that
It's a
these
game,
politicians
yes.
play with our lives like they're playing a
Thank you,
game.
Lee.
At the end of the
Preach.
day, it's
Preach
not
it,
a
yes.
game because you're
Yes.
losing money. You out of work. He's sitting in the office playing games for the last 6 weeks. Now the
Yes.
last minute on his
With
way out, he's
golf.
talking about,
Yes.
With
give them
$100
Getting big. You see
$2,000.
his stomach?
with
Golf.
$120 million in their bank
Yes.
account.
Right, it's not a game.
Yes,
And so people have to understand, like you just said, don't forget what you just learned. When it's time to go and vote all their asses out. Because at the
I
end of
happen
the
to
day,
think
they're
that they
sitting
all
around
just need to
playing with
just-
your life
just-
like it's
I
a
don't
game.
understand.
I think
Vote
we
their
should be in the
asses
White House.
out.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That's what
Vote
I've
their
been
asses
saying,
out.
and-
But it's just the whole thing of so many things. We talk about the many lives that we have lost in 2020, death, the fact that I constantly have sat on so many panel discussions this year talking about the comparisons between HIV and AIDS and the COVID-19 pandemic.
And the stigma
So-
to come, and the stigma to come.
Absolutely.
Right.
Just beyond the stigma, just how the world has so much negativity to say about people and, oh, well, they didn't want to wear a condom. How about all the people running around and don't want to put on a mask? At the end of the day, people pick and choose what
Right.
they can feel like it's okay for them to put their prejudices on and their judgments on. And so 2020 should have opened our eyes to see, not that we didn't know it exists, but everything became Front Street. Black Lives Matter came Front Street. Last night, watching the news, seeing that young black boy be physically attacked by that woman last night over her damn cell phone.
That wasn't
And
even hers. That
what
wasn't even
got me
hers.
about that was the young man was still cool about it. He was like, I just want her to apologize and tell me why she did it. The mother was like, I just want to hear out her mouth why she did it. I'm sorry. If that had been my mother, she would have been reading her up and
Listen.
down, left and right.
Listen.
Ain't no
Lee, you
explanation
can't
for
do
this.
it. You
Because
can't
girlfriend,
do it.
if
I
you
don't
thought it
want
was
to know
your
why
phone,
you did it. I
if
know
you
why
thought
you
it
did
was
it.
your
You know
phone,
we
you
already
could have
know
said
why.
just
And-
dial the number and see if it rang. You don't have to attack that boy.
Right.
Right.
But it shows you the differences and how white people can get away with so much stuff. Even this year, when the people were carrying guns and walking
Yep.
into the state building,
Absolutely.
if that had been a bunch of black people walking into the state building, they all would have been shot.
Absolutely.
It's just so many
Ooh,
things.
say
that
it.
you-
Lee, where are you going? He's here for the next hour or two.
I'm just saying to you guys that I feel like that the things that we are experiencing, don't forget. You know, we often tend to talk.
That's what I'm saying.
Live the life and we go through these journeys and stuff and we pick and choose what things we hold on to. But 2020 should have made us really open our eyes to racism hasn't disappeared. It just hid for a little while. Trump brought it back to the surface.
Absolutely.
So many other things, issues. HIV and AIDS is not gone. COVID is the hot thing right now. What happens when we get this thing for COVID? Actually, I sit on the governor's LGBT commission and I said to myself, this ain't going away as quick as your plan thinks it is because you keep underestimating Black and Latino people. They ain't taking that medicine just like that.
Lee.
I don't care what you say.
Lee.
You ain't going to get 20 million of them before the end of the year to say, shoot me
You're
with that
absolutely
medicine.
right.
It ain't happening.
It's a fact.
They
It's a
want to
fact.
see
I
all
want
the
a
white
soul
folks
to be
get
like
shot
this.
first.
Yes.
It's so interesting. I was watching the news in the doctor's
Yes.
office this morning. In the doctor's office, full of black people, and they had a broadcast saying, literally talking to us, saying black people are scared to take the vaccine, and understandably so because of Tuskegee. But it was just interesting how they
No,
just
no, no, no.
conversation-
Young
And
man,
if
I'm
they want
sorry.
to blame it on, they
But
want
I'm
to
sorry.
center
Can
it
I
on
say
that.
this
It's
one thing?
more than that.
I wanna
It
say
is
one
more
thing.
than that.
I'm
Stop
so
saying
sorry.
it as if
But
like
that's-
frame it as if like we can't get out the past. Still
No,
being
no, 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 no,
victimized.
no.
It's bigger
Let me
than
be
that.
honest with you. It's because Pfizer,
Yep.
do your research, Pfizer has a record
I said
of
this
releasing.
last week. When did I say this? I said this. I said Pfizer, even the movie, The Constant Gardener. Please go watch it, okay?
Yes, Pfizer
Where
has a history.
Pfizer was
Has a bad history.
they went into one of the poorest areas in Nigeria, right? Found an outbreak, right? And not a malaria outbreak, and decided to test the vaccine on people's children, right? And said, oh, we're giving you health care, and testing their vaccines on people's children, and some kids ended up blind, some kids ended up dead, right?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
Constant Gardner, they had to be able to tell that story, they had to build it around the murder of a white woman.
So here's the thing, and I got one more thing to say because my phone just popped up and said I got less than 10 minutes on my battery. But
This is
Okay.
not fair.
I want to say this, even when it comes to the COVID situation, you have to remember that it's still unknown. They don't know, even if they found the vaccine, the same way like every year you go to get the flu shot, they don't know how long the COVID vaccine is going to last.
They do know, they just have, remember, you guys remember, COVID has been around for 30 years, right? They have been studying COVID and its mutations for 30 years.
Right, it's not
the research is there. They're just not investing in it. They're not building any resources from it, and it's almost like this big inventory of information, right? And you, if you have the money and the team, you can petition for the government for the information, and so that's what all these other pharmaceutical companies did. They decided, that's how they came up with the vaccine. The process is where they BS you, right? Because if you know that this thing exists, right? You have other templates like SARS and other things, right? And you're now putting the responsibility on the community to say, and which community? Wear a mask, social distance. Sir, you know what's up. You know what you got to do. But because you guys have commercialized the process, it takes years to develop a vaccine. And we need testing. I'm not saying that that's not real. I'm just saying that, like, you could make it happen. You could have made it happen if Instagram could block certain the election. If Instagram could block certain hashtags to stop cyberbullying, then you could have stopped it a long time.
If y'all can send rovers to Mars, honey, and bring back samples,
and that is the thing. Don't forget the blood that is on your kitchen floor.
Right, and
don't
it's not
forget
just
everything.
Right, and it's not just. And I don't want Leaf on to go dead, but it's not just Tuskegee, like you said. It's happened up until
currently
years ago, right? And so, what the misconception is about Black people, which I want to get out there myself as someone who does research, is that we're not afraid of anything. We have been the actual the standard of what you use to practice everything. That's what we've been, right?
Let's pause there for a second. Hold on. Let's pause there for a second.
According to science,
hello, that Black woman died because she don't feel pain, right? And he didn't feel comfortable by giving her any type of pain medication.
Right.
Please underline what you just said. Right. We are not scared to take the vaccine. We know we don't want to take the vaccine because you guys are not transparent, and we know that you, well, at least for me, I'll speak for myself. I don't know enough about it, and the thing is that it could be just a simple vaccine, but the shit
like
around
I said,
the stuff around it.
I think they underestimated that, and I think they gave out all of these numbers to satisfy the community and say by the time they get to the general population,
you guys, it's too
by
curated
June,
for me.
It's not going to happen because at the end of the day,
they didn't even understand that how many frontline workers right now are saying no to the vaccine. So you're not going to meet the numbers that you're anticipating.
And it's very apparent that if you want
unknowns.
to, is it apparent to y'all that if you want to work or go to school or send your child to school in a public school, travel to certain places, be in public spaces,
you're going to have to,
you're going to have to start wrapping
make it
your
mandatory.
brain around.
Right.
And that is okay. And that's my. But this
and that is what I want to. Thank you.
And that is okay. So I also want to say again, as someone,
you can change your mind.
I've been taking a flu vaccine. I personally don't know when I'm going to get the COVID vaccine, only because at my job, if it comes earlier than normal, I might get it. But
maybe if you know a Jew, because you know the Jews got the extra.
But here's my thing.
Busted by the FBI, the Jews.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's my thing with that too. The one thing I also want to say is because I actually read the Moderna protocol, and that means the actual clinical research study for the Moderna vaccine.
Yes.
They're telling everybody.
All 597
I read
pages.
all that. I think it was 195. But anyway, but it's almost 500 because I don't read a lot. But what I know about the vaccine itself is that there are far more people in the general public getting the vaccine where they are not following your data at all than there are of people they are following their data, right? So you can have 100 people, 200, 300, 3,000 getting the vaccine, which is fine. I don't want to put the narrative out there that you should not get it. I do not want to do that. I do not want to say that. If you want it, I want you to get it. However, I want you to know that if you make an informed decision for yourself, that you don't want it, and if that means you cannot fly or you cannot do those things and you're okay with that, that's also totally fine, because my thing is you should have traveled in 2019 like Tiffany did. But you didn't.
Tiffany, so now you see, you done set everybody up and then you just
and I'm
you
done.
know what I'm saying? You just spanked everybody. You know?
Sorry,
Well,
I'm done
listen,
now.
my phone just went
Yes,
six
Lee,
minutes.
thank
I
you
love
so
you
much
all.
for dropping. Listen,
Yes.
I
Thank
want
you.
to
I
say
love
this
you,
right
Wayne.
before you. We want to do this again, of course. These things
Yes.
are just teasers because there's a method to my madness.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
all
you
right.
so much. We
Cams, I
appreciate
love
you.
you. I love
I'm
you. I
looking
love
forward
you.
to seeing
Thank
you
you, everybody.
again.
Thank
I'm
you,
sliding in
Lee.
your
Nice to
DMs.
meet you, Lee. You're amazing.
Okay.
Lee
Thanks.
Soldier.
Yes, on
Lee
post.
Bye,
Soldier
everybody.
on
Take care.
Instagram. LEE Soldier. Okay.
Thank you.
When
it's still here.
And listen,
I thought
DC
we hung
India is
up.
about to be here just now.
Oh, this is about to be
I need
hilarious.
to make a
DC
drink.
India
Yes, please.
just hit me up.
It's chocolate wine.
Okay.
Chocolate wine.
Listen,
not
when
bad.
I know there's so much that just blitzed through. What are your thoughts on
Sorry.
everything that we just said? Anything that comes to
What is-
mind right now?
Well, I don't know if I want to go down the deep end with that one because I haven't made a decision about the vaccine yet, only because I don't think I've done enough of my own research. But I'm, sometimes, fuck it. It's a pandemic. I'm remote and shit, and I'm home all the time. I go off the deep end, and I indulge in the conspiracy theory. So,
Right.
all these.
What are you
topics
looking
have
into?
been mad
What's a
as hell.
conspiracy theory that you are looking into that is kind of like, I could kind of be swayed here?
Well, it's my own theory that
Come on with it. Let's
all
hear
this
it.
white
Hot to hate
supremacy
me.
and Trump getting elected and all this shit has happened because of the projections that by 2025 white people will no longer be the majority.
Well,
And let's be real,
come
like
on now.
you'd
Okay,
have to be
okay. When you
you'd have
just
to be
jumped, I love
batshit
it.
crazy.
You just jumped to some Time
enslave and
Magazine stuff.
oppress an entire hemisphere.
Yes.
And think that one day they're not going to rise up against you.
So
and if
let's
we've
talk
never
about
had the
that.
weapons or the balls to do it, now we got the fucking numbers.
Okay, when you can't say the F word.
I've been so good, y'all. I don't.
Yeah.
I've been so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We tried to ignore the first. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wait,
it's a
Scott
little
said
thing.
pour him a cup.
Pour him. Yeah.
Scott,
Scott,
you gotta pour us
this
a
is
cup.
for you.
Any shot.
No,
Any
pour it, honey.
Give me some.
I know.
of
I'm
You're supposed to put that in
Anyone,
the camera.
what are we
Scott,
saying on
okay.
the mix cloud? What's going on the mix cloud? Big shout out. If you guys want to send us a voice note, the number's 347-209.
So Scott said, "I am from the South." We say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes or no, sir. Can we open up the door? And when I moved to Ohio, I got yelled at for doing nice things for people.
So, because people are trash.
I'm from the South also, Scott.
People are
so-
trash, okay?
Okay.
People are trash. We said that.
Literally.
I think only people get offended if they feel like you think that they're older than you or something. So I would get that when people are like, oh, I'm not that old, but yes, I am. So please call me ma'am. If you're little, yes, I am yes, ma'am. And no, ma'am. Thank you.
Listen, I want to take this time to thank everyone for tuning in
Yes. Welcome,
to us for the entire 3-4 months that we've been on
Yes.
GMGT.
Ooh.
And for the entire 10 months that we've survived. Let me tell you something about surviving.
That's what we do. It's in our blood.
Again,
Right.
that's
If we could just expand that, surviving is it's a step up from existing.
Right.
When you look at your hierarchy of needs, right? You have your basic, your food, your warmth, your shelter, your sex, your blah 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 blah, right? Your basics. That is existing. You're doing you ain't even really doing much.
Right.
Right?
It don't take much.
Your body is literally surviving means that you're making conscious decision. Because if you look at our ancestors that survived, they were connected to nature. They knew what they possessed. They understood who was in their corner and who was in their space.
They understood what was at stake.
Thank you. And they have requirements for the people who was in their area, right? And they required people to identify. Do you know you're black? It's like Wednesday. You know you black. You know you know we the people. You know this is our place, right?
Black Moses.
Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Black Moses says it all.
Right?
Do you know you're black?
Right?
Okay.
So on Hard to Hate Me, we talk about wearing your politics up front, stating the obvious, right? And but that doesn't mean that you're gonna get it all the time. So how do we handle conversations about what if you do encounter a Karen?
Ooh.
what if you are at your job and you encounter a microaggressive situation where you know it ain't subtle no more. It's no longer, right?
Why are you letting her start this conversation?
Right? No, we have to because when we talk about make our Black Lives Matter, we're healing in our because we're in a quarantine. Things are not normal, right? We're living in the new normal, and everyone has an idea of what they want to get back to, right?
Yes.
You could never get back to that. It's over. Because can you go on and without COVID in existence? In your head?
No, absolutely.
My
no,
normal
right?
life
Like, no,
that I had is
right?
now.
If somebody coughs next to you, be like, okay, who all over there? What's
I noticed I haven't had a cold all
Hold
year.
on. I was
Is that on purpose?
before COVID.
Right?
I had masks on a plane before COVID. I've been wearing masks on a plane
look
since
at you,
2010.
see?
Stop it.
Bless your heart.
I wasn't like that, but I get it. But when I would see people like that, I was like, okay,
So,
like
right. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, what do you tell yourself? What do you tell yourself as what do we normalize? Mm-hmm. When? How do you have a conversation being as empowered as you are, not taking the shits as you do? You know what I'm saying? And you have to work on a team with someone who doesn't quite get it.
Well, funny that you ask.
Oh.
So I've been blessed with age because age is a blessing. And once I hit 40, if I didn't give a damn before 40, after 40,
25,
like,
what happened?
Just forget about it. And what you said earlier, we have to come to a point where we manifest and we really sit down and figure out who is it that we want to be, what makes us happy, what are our real passions. And I've done the struggle. I've done, get financially stable and all that. So because I've already leveled up from Maslow's hierarchy of needs, level 1, the psychological, the physiological needs.
Okay.
And the safety needs. Now I've moved on to a different plane where I just don't take it anymore. And it's not a matter of I'm not gonna fight you. We don't have to go on World Star. Like I have the power of no. I have sat in meetings. I'm always the token. Either I'm the token Hispanic, I'm the token Black person, and then they get an extra point for being Black and Hispanic. Then I'm the token lesbian. Then I'm the token masculine presenting lesbian. Then now I'm the token GNC person. So I'm filling up all these boxes, and I'm very quick to remind them that I'm filling these boxes.
Okay with just you being in the room
because of that.
And they're okay with just you being in the room.
Right, you're the only one. You're the only one. Right.
Story of our careers.
Right.
Being okay with just being the only one in the room. And having to have every perspective. I don't mean that you think, but you're just like, okay, I have to be conscious.
Always.
Shout out to DJ India. And oh my gosh, is that Mai that just joined us? Is that India and Mai? Hi. You guys have to turn it around because you're sideways. Oh. No, not you, Wendy. Mai and India. But go ahead.
Sideways. All right.
Wait, how do you see India? Where is she at?
On this side. Continue with what you were saying. Come this way, Mama.
Oh,
okay. So, I also I don't want to say you should do this.
Look at them.
Oh my goodness.
Continue.
Okay, this will be good. Oops, sorry.
So, it's hard for me to say, well, this is how you should do it. I can tell you how I do it, but I also understand that not everybody has that liberty. My parents, I'm the first generation of my family that goes to college, that speaks English, all that, whatever. So I'm the product of 2 immigrants that didn't speak the language. My dad didn't have a college education and whatever. So if they struggle and they made it and they survived, then I'm not going to sit in no room and let anybody belittle me or treat me any less and this is that, because I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors. And if I speak up and I get fired, they will carry me to the next job or to the next source of income.
Or the next
but I
lawsuit.
also understand that not everybody
I was just about to say that, right? I was just about to say that because I know, I said this a lot, during in the thick of the pandemic, like, oh my gosh, like, guys, your job don't even care about you. Like, look at this. They will kill you. They're exposing you. They wouldn't even pay for cleaning up the spot. But I know bills are real, right?
Right.
And I know it's hard to leave that faith. I know it's hard.
But we all.
But then I have my spirituality because, you know, I'm of African descent. And one of the things, to answer your previous question, one of the things that has happened in my life and my maturity and my getting older, my having more experiences within my own community and finding out, wait, before I tell you who I am, I need to find out where I came from and who came before me. So in that process, I've also made a greater connection to my spirituality. So at the times where I've had to shut my mouth and think about it and say, you know, do I really want to talk back to this transphobe or this homophobe that can potentially shoot me, kill me, or send me to the hospital? Or am I going to keep my mouth shut and live another day? But then I'm going to come home and I'm going to speak to my ancestors. So, you know what happened to me today? This and this happened with such and such person. Get them.
Right.
Okay. For real.
The next day. And you will.
And it's always worked.
Always.
I don't curse nobody. I'm not cursing. I'm not, you know,
I
cutting
was about to say, I was going to give you an opportunity to clean that up. I understand.
I have no problems with that, but I don't have to do it. All I have to do is a simple prayer because my heart and my soul and my mind is
you have no idea who you're messing with.
Right.
You have no idea. You see someone, you have no idea who brought them to where they're at. You don't know whose they are, right? Like, I don't have an authorship problem. I know who's I. I know who yeah, I know.
Don't get the, y'all better preach in here tonight, okay? We about to play the church organ.
It is
because
9:36 right now. Thank you.
I also remember that I'm afforded these liberties now, but I you know, I've been targeted for my color before I was born. My mother they tried to force my mother 3 times to have an abortion. Oh, you too old. Oh, the baby's not going to make it. Or, meanwhile, Medicaid was paying for white ladies over 40 to have babies at the time. But you telling my mother, because she was an immigrant, a woman of color, that she needs to have an abortion for no reason. There was absolutely nothing wrong with me. But they didn't want somebody old and because she was on Medicaid. So before I came out of the womb, y'all was trying to kill me because of my color.
Period.
Well, let me tell you something. If I was able to survive childhood, I was able to survive subpar medical care. I was able to survive the crack epidemic, all of that. There's a reason for that. And the reason for that is that my ancestors carry me. So if they carry me then, they will continue to carry me to the end of my days.
Preach it.
And so I can stand on that. But, you know, not everybody has those liberties and not everybody comes into that realization so young.
And
like
faith,
I have
and
been
faith. Let's
a
be
sore
real
thumb
here.
my entire
let's
life.
Be real,
I've been
Wendy.
a tomboy. People knew I was gay. You know, sexually assaulted because I was a tomboy. All of that stuff. All of that stuff. I never walked alone and I never felt alone. I was sad. I was depressed. Yeah, you know, all of that. But I'm still here and I know that I'm here for a reason and for a purpose. And that's what carries me in those boardrooms when I need to sit down and figure out, all right, am I going to set fire to this table right here? Or am I going to listen, take this paycheck, level up, and then, you know, take a dump on them when now I'm their boss?
Right. That's how you move, okay?
In a word.
With that said,
well, 8 sips. Oh,
we're going to sip on that when...
That was great, When.
I appreciate you and Maya and India and here.
DC
DJ
India.
Don't stop, get it. Don't stop, get it. Pump that booty, do the brand.
Hey, we don't know how to dance. We can't.
Sorry, okay, we just completely.
Wait, is this water or wine?
We just completely switched things
Oh,
out.
this is definitely wine. Water. This is straight up H2O right here.
Okay.
When I want to thank you so much.
Tonight. No curse words tonight.
No curse words tonight. We're gonna listen.
Why y'all? You know what? Y'all making me out to be a damn comedian or something. Why y'all laughing at me? That ain't right.
Listen, When I want to thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you so much for your time. 10 years later, I am so happy to see that you are empowered.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that you're here to tell this story and sharing with us.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Happy New Year.
It's a blessing.
Ashe.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. With ass.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. What
Now.
up?
Hey.
my favorite couple.
Okay.
Why we look like that?
It's a couple today, though.
Because
I like
y'all
this
showed
too.
up like, it's a foursome tonight, honey. It's a foursome. It's a foursome tonight. Can you guys see us?
I know.
Listen, welcome back to the show. How was the happy hour? How was your holiday? Oh my gosh! So we haven't. Did we?
Well, we
haven't
missed
seen-
the
We haven't
sweater.
seen you
Missed it.
since
How do we miss that?
Thanksgiving. Oh, when we checked, it was sold out. It said. We didn't know that we were supposed to do. Anyway, we gave that there.
It's all
We'll
right.
go there later.
How are you?
Why do we look like that?
We can't see ourselves on the
Why can't we see ourselves?
We can see y'all great. We need y'all to answer the question.
Oh, okay. So
We can't see ourselves
We
either.
can see y'all. Listen, y'all look so cute. You want me to take I'm gonna take a picture of y'all and send it to y'all.
wait, hold on. Let me do my pose.
Yeah. How's it going? Welcome back. How was the happy hour?
Look, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna be real with y'all. You know, with me being an entrepreneur, just like the other millions of folks in the U.S., it's been a struggle. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm balling out of control or anything. Thank God I had some savings, to put me over. But it's a struggle. This is something that I'm not used to. I'm being honest with y'all. This is something I am not used to. But it's very humbling. It's very humbling, and it has. Like I told y'all on the last show, there's a silver lining because it allowed me to see where I need to be able to reinforce the DJ India brand. And now that I have her on my team, it's going to be even better. We're doing some things. We're doing some things collectively that I could have only dreamed of.
That's
there are things that I had set in place that I wanted to do. I just didn't have time because I was too busy trying to make that money to make sure that I lived the lifestyle that I'm used to living. But now that I have her on the team, man, what?
So did it
smile.
Right?
So did 20?
Maya, can you do me a favor? Maya, do this. Look.
I can't see them.
We can't see
Oh,
y'all.
they can't see us.
Why can't y'all see us?
Maybe we need to minimize it or something.
Oh, there you go. See, you already started. No, you already
now
tried
I
to fix
see
it the
ya.
last time.
There we go.
Okay. See?
Can you see them on the?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. What's going
Yeah.
on? Shout out to everybody on the Mixcloud.
Hey.
Thank you. Shout out to everybody that's on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on GMGT.LIVE.
On
Listen.
Insta Live.
On Insta Live, right? Oh, that's cute. On
Insta
Insta
Live.
Live.
Is that what it's called?
How
I
was
don't know.
the ugly sweater event? And
It
it hookups?
was. I ain't gonna lie. It was kind of dry. It wasn't the most
Because we
amazing
weren't
time.
there. Because we were not there.
Oh, is that what was going? Hey! I'm
You
very
so decent.
transparent. I ain't gonna lie. That
What were
joint
the
was
girls
kind of
missing?
dry.
What were the girls doing? They just wasn't. What happened? They was drunk.
I think people are sad right now. I think people were trying. Hey, look! I think people were trying to determine whether or not they getting that $600 to $2,000.
That's you know what? That's
that
a
could
real
be
thing.
true.
Hey,
For them
but,
to go on into the bar,
but
give me some chicken wings.
Right.
Give me the ugly sweater mask. I guess.
I'll tell y'all what though. Like I said just a minute ago, collectively, us together, the energy is just amazing. In my opinion, I'm not trying to, force feed that on anybody or try to, make it out to be something that it's not. It's when you find someone that you have energy with and you guys collectively, that energy comes together and you can make something really powerful. That's what we have going on. We feed off of each other. We made it out to be what it could be, but it wasn't all that. And I'm not going to sit here and try to make it out to be. We've had some some other events that have been way more energetic and more successful. We have the karaoke coming up this Friday. Camille, I don't know what you doing on Friday that you can't come to this joint?
We had too.
It's not
Oh, it's New Year's Day though.
It's New Year's
Now
Day.
I admit I will be very drunk.
It'll be
Right.
great.
Sleep. Pass out.
I don't know why you think you're gonna be asleep, but this one got
yeah.
the plan.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Only a little plan that'll make you pass out. All the way.
Hey, you know what? As much as we've been through for 2020, guess what? We might not even make it to our own goddamn party. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like, 2020.
Have y'all let it out? India, let it out. Let it out.
I think once we get
hold up though.
Once we get to 2021, I think we're gonna be.
Have y'all seen what all of the like the people that sell decorations and party favors and things like that? Have y'all seen what the theme is for this year?
What's the theme?
Even Party City.
I'm
not gonna say the real word. Oh, but guess what the theme is? I was, and look at me. Look, I'm a little slow. I ride on a little short bus sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Guess what the theme is? FU 2020. Yep. It don't say Happy New Year's. Everything is saying FU 2020.
At the dollar store.
Did she say Happy New
And
Year?
Bushwick, it says Happy New Year.
Wait, did I just say Black Americans do it too?
Okay, let's just point that out.
Hold on.
I ordered some stuff for Party City today. And everything was coming up FU. I was like, what? I said, oh, shit.
That's because you don't shop at the dollar store, girl. $1.49 get you Happy New Year.
Point that out, yeah.
We got a question for you. Okay, you just said, say it again. Happy what?
It does. Nothing says Happy New Year. Everything is like FU 2020.
So we have a little debate going on, right? People, the Caribbean people, they're saying that Caribbean people say Happy New Year's.
Well, the Caribbean people
but
the Caribbean people are saying Caribbean people say
I disagree. I think I'm Caribbean and I say
Happy New Year. This is truth serum. This is truth serum. It's truth serum.
Happy New Year's.
I want to know what you're gonna say after you drink it. It's fine.
Tell them, baby. She got something to explain to y'all.
Go ahead.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
That's
the S. So I think you hear Happy New Year's because it shows possession, like years, apostrophe S, like New Year's Day.
That's what I said. Yes, you're right. Yes.
But it's Happy New Year. It's the next year.
But the thing is, the day is silent. Like to you and yours. Your what? Yours? I don't know.
Year versus year.
Truth. Truth.
Okay, I now understand. No, Tiffy. Let's get into that. Because Tiffany did explain that earlier. And I got that. I didn't want to normalize it because I felt like.
Oh, we have a question.
You wanted to make it your own?
We got a question.
I want to say Happy New Year. It's still when you're doing the greeting, Happy New Year.
I'm going to say both,
it's like me
depending
saying,
on.
Sorry for your loss. Fine.
You know what? Stop this.
Whether I'm sober or drunk is going to be the.
I want to hear her out. I want to hear her out.
Sorry for your loss? Who says that?
No.
Loss.
So we have a question. GMT, what are you doing for the New Year resolution?
Do we have any New Year resolutions? New Year resolutions. Do you have any New Year? Listen.
I think our resolution is to get out of 2020.
That's all I want. You know, I've learned to not, and I think 2020 should have been a year of reflection for a lot of people, and I hope a lot of people saw their own self-judgment that they didn't realize they had. All of us, black people, white people, everybody. So what I really want for next year for myself is to literally be present and like enjoy, like just really focus on what I want to do for myself, and not on something like, oh, I want to make $1 million next year. No, I don't.
Again, intentions are about how you feel.
But I don't.
Setting an intention is about understanding how you feel, right? For me personally, I want to remember to trust what I know. Trust what I know. That doesn't mean I'm not going to ask questions. I'm going to be okay with people being not okay with me asking questions, because people are not okay with me asking questions. And that's probably because I've probably, gone along with certain things.
I think your questions are more like a statement. No, I feel like when you
what
talk,
do you mean?
It's almost like a, are you serious? Like that.
That's hypothetical.
I'm gonna get better at asking real.
No, I'm serious though. You really ask it like, no, I'm really asking you the question. So when you answer it, you understand that I already answered it for you.
I've decided to say to people what's happening. What's happening right now? Because when that's my be here now.
I hear that. So what's happening right now?
I always say what's happening. I know I always ask people, so what's happening? But I always say there's a funny like, oh, what's happening? But that is in my own mindfulness meditation, my own personal practice. That's a way for me to. It's like that question, what's happening, is like an escape ramp. It's like an emotional escape ramp. So when people, if I'm engaging with someone and we talked about how in making our own Black Lives Matter, and let's just say if I get in some type of entanglement with somebody about some type of Black Lives Matter shit. if you're telling me your truth, what you're telling me is your truth.
Right.
Right? Because we talked about on this show, my truth is an actual philosophy. So I have to believe that you're telling me your truth. So I can't immediately say that you're wrong. So I'm committing to not, again, moving out of the binaries. I can't say, Tiffany, you're wrong because you're telling me about your truth.
That is big to say that because 2% of people actually will admit that they would do
but
that.
I'm going to trust what I know.
Right.
You know what you know. I do say that. I know what I know.
But the knowing that I'm trusting is not my own knowing, though. My knowing that I'm going to trust is the ultimate truth because, it's just my oneness and wholeness and my own personal spiritual principles about universal truth, right? So that's what I heard.
Right.
But your own personal philosophy, like I trust your personal philosophy because I want people to know that I, like vice versa. So any New Year's resolution for you?
No, I really just
that, besides be here now, right?
No, that's it. I really want to live in my truth, which I've always think I've done. But have I really? You know what I mean? Like when I reflect back now, like maybe I didn't. Maybe things I thought were my truth were just things that I thought I should have been doing.
You reflect what you know.
Yeah. So
you reflect what you know. It's like you guys saying about the karaoke, about
the sweater party we weren't at. That we weren't
at. You came to realization as much positivity because when you guys came on the show, you said we did this. Maya, you said we need to do something to keep the ladies connected. Right? And no matter how much energy you guys had, how much India is known for keeping the women connected, right? And motivated, you realize people are sad.
We should give a Zoom on how to be happy in the Zoom.
We need Janae.
Right, but the Zoom that I would want to do is to listen, sometimes you have a bad time.
Yeah, that's true.
Why are you trying to escape out of it because you got a bad time? We are so quick to get to the destination. Because we know,
like
right?
people that do crack. You know what I'm saying? People want that high. They want that high real quick and shit. I mean, and shots. Right.
We need a bell. We're going to sip every time you slip up. Okay.
Hey, you know what though, y'all? Y'all know what though? You know what? Now that we're talking, I'm processing as we're talking, and I really haven't said to myself, oh, India, do you have a New Year's resolution? Because it's just been so different. You know what I mean? It's been so different. But now that I think about it, and I will proclaim myself to be a very spiritual person. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not affiliated with any religion per se, but I am a spiritual person, and I believe in karma, and I believe in being good to people, and I believe in being good and helping out your neighbor and doing right by people. That is my motto. That's how I live by that every day. So I don't necessarily feel like I have to pray in order to achieve that goal because that's just so embedded in who I am.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I have not been praying as much as I used to as it relates to faith and knowing that everything's going to be okay. Even though that's the attitude that I have, I think that God might appreciate hearing from me. So I'm going to say that that's going to be my New Year's resolution.
That is a good one.
A shade for that.
I know, very
thoughtful. I just processed that just now. You know what I mean? Like,
Listen, they already coined this
I'm glad we could do that
from before. I remember Walter Church, and he works with, I think he works with like Beyonce or stop acting like I don't know. Yes, he's up there and has his own company and works on blah blah. But he's like, listen, the conversations, diamond mine. We are definitely about refining how we are thinking and knowing that it is all a matter of evolving. You evolve, you go deeper. You evolve, you go deeper. You're never going to stop realizing something new. That's why that hierarchy of needs that we talked about earlier, where survival is at the bottom and self-actualization is at the top, flip that MF up. Self-actualization Self-actualization is at the top. It's the first thing. Because if you don't know who you are as far as like what you're capable of, listen, just existing. If you have a spiritual base, you know. It's as Wendy said. Wen said. Her ancestors, her guides have taken her through just by existing. So when you start putting a conscious thought, consciousness is when you start surviving. Because people who survive in the wilderness, they have to be conscious. Their instincts are sharp. They're intuitive. They don't sleep on shit. They don't. You move in the grass, they will slice you. So let's look at survival differently. We are doing survival is bigger than how we think it is. Survival requires you to be in the culture, to understand your own humanity of the culture, as far as like you not touch, you still touch, you can still be controlled, you can still be conditioning, you could date, you know what I mean?
Still are every single day.
Right, every day. There are lies that we need to believe, because if we didn't believe certain lies, we wouldn't be shopping.
Cognitive
There you
dissonance.
go. There you go.
I want to say that I like that you use the word refine, and I don't have a New Year's resolution. I never do, because I feel that every day I'm always refining the person that I am and I want to be.
That is a Buddhist
so I
mentality,
never
believe
start
that
the
too.
year with a New Year's resolution, because many people
what you
forget
said.
their resolutions.
Yeah.
So I'm always in that process of getting to that point where I want to be. And so I think over last year, or maybe the year before, 2020 was maybe a little bit of a wash, and I'm gonna give myself a pass on that. But 2019, I was like, I'm gonna learn to say no a bit more, because I have a habit of overextending myself. So I think that I did do that over 2019.
Don't be telling me no.
Listen, let me tell you something about 2020, and you called it a wash. Let me tell you something. You see, the year 2020 is the year of Aquarius. I don't know if you guys heard of it. We've been in it, right?
He's an Aquarius.
And let me tell you about water bearing people. People who shape shift, who can get into any space. It don't mean that they're comfortable 100%, but they can make it happen. That is what 2020 is here for you to be, as in like capability, competency, confidence, courage. Courage is something that you summon. It ain't something that you just have. Black people we got confidence. We don't have courage, because we were not taught courage. Because if we were taught courage, then we would not be so easily conditioned and internalized.
All right, come on, girl, preach it, girl. Come on, preach it, girl.
Yeah, courage is something that you have to summon every day. Just like Mai says, I refine myself. It's the courage. When you wake up in the morning, okay, you got to give yourself a hard to hate me badge. I am hard to hate today.
Right.
Because I'm not going to hate myself for being myself, for just wanting more than I told them that they told me that I should have. Because you only gave me an inch when I'm supposed to get a mile.
Hey.
Acres, 40 acres actually.
In a meal.
But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that. But I love the fact that you said that, Mai, that you every day you are looking to refine. I think I'm gonna add that to my list of things to do to think of every day.
So to piggyback on what Mai said, and so when you said that, it's a Buddhist, and I'm not a Buddhist, but I do believe in a lot of Buddhist sayings and Buddhist
It's okay,
feelings.
you don't gotta identify, take the medicine.
No, but I believe that you're your most perfect self when you're no longer here, right? In the physical world. So every day that you wake up, you strive to be better than you were yesterday. And if you focus on that, you have no place in your own heart or mind for judgment of anybody else other than yourself. So I always try to do that for myself as well, which is exactly what you said.
That is what Aquarius,
that is
what the year of 2020 is here to tell us, right? When you think about water, right? Water, again, it shapes into anything. If the atmosphere is too cold, it turns into ice.
Isn't that Bruce Lee? Be like water.
Hello, yes.
Be like water.
It is about water bearing, right? And I personally
great analogies.
Yes, I personally attune to the moon. You know why? Because the moon reflects the water. The moon manages the tides. The moon, it tells you, okay, see the proximity. You see proximity? That's the real bitch. It ain't karma.
I'm still drinking it.
That's what 2020 does. It brought us to proximity to death. If you had to have a conversation with your death every day.
Camille, if I ever get shipwrecked, I want to get shipwrecked with you, because I know I'll be living.
Okay. I need them around for
you
all
got
of
the
that.
natural
And I'm a Scorpio,
You know,
so I'm
you guys are just,
automatically
you know what?
water.
In processing all
Taurus
this,
is not though. I'm like a
listen,
Earth.
I want to say this truth right now.
Dirt.
You know what I'm struggling with? I'm gonna tell you this truth right now. What I'm struggling with. I'm struggling with moving the work to the actual people, right? Like, I know that like my coaching stuff is amazing. I know that my workshops that I write are amazing, right? I struggle with picking my clients, as in like, because I'm not for everybody.
Okay.
I'm not.
You should be though, because she's amazing.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm drunk.
Yeah, I'm kind, but I'm not nice.
I think you're real.
You're real. You're not
You
nice.
are,
But
you
people
are.
need real. People
You
need
know,
that.
you know,
And that's what I like about
Yeah, but
real.
look at Yana was real, and now they curse on her
real
saying that
direct.
she been
You know what I mean?
that she been too
1 minute.
mean on black women, right? But we got anyway one woman. But I'm just saying that's like the struggle. But
Can't be all sensitive.
in hearing all of this tonight,
I can't with her.
in hearing all this tonight, I think I've made a decision.
Oh,
Oh,
guys,
tell
come
us.
on.
Oh, okay.
We got
all
1
right,
minute, so you got to get it out.
60 seconds.
India and mine. I'm gonna call y'all. You see y'all dating stuff. I think I have a program, a workshop that I will call Risk Rising. I think that if we look at it to get people to network, karaoke, get accustomed to the virtual life, and give them something that they can resolve, refine, and kind of fulfill. At the same time, I don't know. Maybe it could do something. But anyway, I just thought about it. You guys just motivated me. I wasn't a run about it, and I didn't even think about that.
That's
Look
good.
at you.
That's the
No,
way
this
it,
is
that's the way
this
it works.
is why this
That's
is how it
how
works here.
happens.
And this is DC DJ India. We're gonna need you again.
Because
And
mine was like, oh, what you
both
working
of
on?
you.
Mine,
real,
remember,
'cause
you were like, oh, what you working on? And I didn't respond. Mine had messaged me when talking about, and mine was like, oh, what you working on? I didn't respond. But anyway, it's 10 o'clock.
Boo.
It's another.
Why do you keep cutting us off like this? I mean, I don't.
Kareem, just give me 3 minutes because
No,
I
he
want these two
doesn't.
to say something.
No, I'm.
Oh.
No, I do.
Okay.
It's 10 o'clock. This has been hard to hate me.
Oh,
it's
it'll
the
be a
last.
new year.
Yes, the
before
next
It is the
Oh,
last show of the new year.
yeah.
I'm so
Oh,
happy that
wow.
Mai and India, you guys are here. We had so
Yes.
much fun. Tiffany.
Oh man.
Tiffany,
Yes.
what are your resolutions, if you have, or what are your intentions that we could support you?
So
in?
my intentions really are, as you all know, minority health, and that's always going to be a passion of mine. And what I realized in my self-reflection of 2020 is that I've not taken advantage of that, and I've not taken advantage of, like you said, knowing, because I feel like I don't want to have to get in conversations with people anymore about things that I know. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yes, it's the whole like, please start.
Right. So
I get it.
that's so I'm on intention now, and
How
I've
can we
always
support you in that?
I think just being you. All like honestly, every time I come here, I'm having a great time. DC DJ India and my like just being around positive energy. I'm happy to be around people who want more for
I'm gonna big up what
themselves.
you know. I know
Thank
what
you.
you know, and I'm gonna big up what you know on my platforms.
Well, thank
Because
you.
you be knowing stuff.
Okay.
So
A little.
do I have your permission to be tagging you and stuff like
Yes.
people? Because you teach people to research,
Yes, I would hope so.
and if you are putting your research skills to understand, for people to be more aware for the minority health and the shenanigans and the shits we got to deal with, especially with this vaccine coming down the line. Are you guys taking the vaccine? Are you guys thinking about taking the vaccine?
You know she getting the vaccine first. She in line right now.
I can't hear. But that's what. Do I have your permission to do that?
Yes, absolutely. And again with the vaccine, because again, I don't want to sit here like I'm someone who said they're not going to get it. I'm definitely going to get it. I don't
No,
know
I
when.
have an idea. I have an idea about how it thinks.
But there are other vaccines coming. But nobody says that because it's not news. So go ahead.
My resolution.
Resolutions. How can we support you?
So 2021 is me. All about me.
Ooh.
Ting ting ting.
Say a curse words I can drink.
My self-wellness mission, my skincare,
Yes.
my wellness, my therapy, my all of that.
All of it.
It's 2021 is me. So I will, if I work for somebody else this year, it's
Gonna be you.
it's still gonna be me.
It's
Right,
a
yeah.
partnership. It's a collaboration. You are co-creating.
What about you, ma'am?
Co-creating.
Co-creating.
This and this more.
Hey.
To have more. My resolutions is to have more. To feel like I am doing more of this, not just on a Tuesday night.
Right.
You know, I do this in my own personal time. It's not visible to people, and that's why I've been okay with just like not really being involved, because I'm doing this always.
You are.
You know what I mean?
Like she really is.
All
Not
the
not even
time.
joking. She is.
All the time.
But I've been taking a rest because
Yes.
I'm like, I need to be able to pick a peak, because not every client is going to be for me. Not everyone is going to start in the way that I feel like they should start, at least where I see them. I'm also very worried about like my spiritual practice as far as like reading archetypes and things like that, because I feel like people take Black spirituality for granted and they do it as a show. So people are quick to say, oh, you're doing Obion, you know, things like that. People, black magic or whatever, blah, blah. I feel like a lot of people are very disrespectful and not aware of the things that they possess. So that's why I haven't touched that stuff yet. You know what I mean? I'll do my cards and stuff like that. But as far as like what I'm going to resolve in myself, I have to be so much more picky. I have a real reason to be picky about the people that I associate with.
You are absolutely right. And I'm so glad to be in that circle.
And I didn't want to be that way because I felt like I don't want to discriminate. I don't want to be divisive. I don't want to be this. But people are very disrespectful to the faith. And I don't have a particular faith. I just respect spirit and space.
Absolutely.
I respect energy. So anyway, that was what it is.
Thank you for the extra.
Hold on, Scott says Mike take care of my his resolution is to take care of myself and love myself. That's his New Year resolution.
That's
okay,
all.
Scott, we with
That's it.
Listen, we are happy. Thank you so much. India and Mai, we're gonna talk offline.
Yes.
Not tonight, but tomorrow.
Or maybe tonight, you never know.
Listen,
Don't set me up like that. This ain't water. This is Tito's.
Hey, Tito.
We know what it was. We saw y'all swaying together like we are a happy family.
We are family.
Good night.
Thanks, y'all. Love y'all.
Happy New Year.
Thank you guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's.
Yes.
With an S or not. Later, y'all.
Burning up your bandwidth. We are the best in entertainment online, period. Good music, good times, where the culture lives. We are the reason you get written up or worse, fired. Good music, good times, where the culture lives.
GMGT big, big, where the culture lives. Big, vibes big, big. GMGT, oh, it is what it is. Smartin'.